They say you can feel a moment before it reaches you. A shift in the air. A weight in your chest. A whisper inside you that says, something is about to break. I felt it that morning. I was folding my husband's uniform shirt, the one he'd worn the night before his last deployment, when the knock came. 3 slow, heavy knocks. Military knocks. The kind every spouse prays they never hear. I froze. My hand stopped. My breath stopped. When I opened the door, 2 Marines stood there as stiff posture, blank faces, eyes that had to memorize the script because saying it too often would destroy a human soul. "Ma'am, we regret to inform you." And just like that, the world split in half. My knees hit the floor before the words even finished leaving their mouths. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just felt something inside me collapse, like a building losing its foundation. They told me his convoy was hit. They told me he didn't suffer. They told me he died a hero. A hero. The word felt sharp. Like it had edges. The Marines stood in my living room while I sat on the couch hugging a pillow like it was the only thing trying to keep me from drowning. They gave me his dog tags. Still warm from being held. I remember whispering, "Where's his letter?" He always left one before a deployment. A just-in-case letter. His little tradition. But they said there wasn't one this time. That was strange. He never forgot that. But grief is a fog. It covers the details you should notice. For the next few weeks, I moved through life like a ghost. People brought casseroles. People said they were so sorry. People hugged me, cried for me, talked about strength. But none of them went home to an empty house. None of them slept on only their side of the bed so they wouldn't disturb the memory of someone who wasn't coming back. I kept replaying our last call. His last words. "Don't worry about me. I'll be home sooner than you think." I thought it was just hope. I thought he was just trying to comfort me. But then, at the funeral, something happened. His commander pulled me aside. A man in full uniform, face carved like stone, voice low enough to make my heart drop. He said, "If anyone asks about the mission, just tell them what the report says." I frowned. Why? What actually happened? His jaw tightened. Too tight for someone delivering a standard condolence. Then he said 8 words I will never forget. "The mission wasn't what you think it was." That was it. No explanation. No details. Just a warning wrapped in a condolence. And suddenly the edges of grief sharpened into suspicion. My husband didn't write a final letter. The commander looked nervous. And the official report felt too clean, too rehearsed. I didn't know it yet, but this was the beginning. The beginning of learning that my husband didn't just die. He was silenced. And the truth buried under classified stamps and locked rooms, wasn't going to stay buried forever. Not if I went looking for it. And I'd already lost the love of my life. What else could they take from me? Funerals are supposed to bring closure. This one didn't. From the moment I stepped out of the car, I felt like I was walking into someone else's nightmare, not mine. Like I was watching the scene from outside my own body. The flag-draped coffin. The rows of uniforms. The scripted words about sacrifice. The rifle salute. It all felt staged. Too perfect. Too clean. Too controlled. Like they were trying to choreograph my grief. People kept whispering. He was a hero. He saved so many. He died serving his country. But no one could tell me how. Not one person. Not one detail. Every answer was the same stiff line. "Ma'am, the specifics of the mission are classified." Classified. That single word became a wall I kept slamming into. Even his best friend, the guy he deployed with 3 times, avoided my eyes the entire service. When I finally cornered him, he swallowed hard and said, "I'm sorry." I can't talk about it. Couldn't? Or wouldn't? The coffin lowered into the ground, but my heart refused to accept what the world wanted me to believe. They handed me the folded American flag. Perfectly creased. Sharp edges. Heavy. Too heavy. And then came the moment I'll never forget. His commander, the same one who warned me at the funeral home, approached again. But this time, something in his face had changed. It wasn't grief. It wasn't sympathy. It was guilt. He knelt slightly, leaned in, and said quietly, "Your husband was one of the bravest men I've ever led. But the story they're telling, it isn't the whole truth." My blood ran cold. "What truth?" I whispered. He looked around, making sure no one could hear. His voice dropped to a tense whisper. "If I say anything more, it puts both of us at risk." Risk. That word hit me harder than the rifle salute. Risk from who? The people he served? The people he died for? Before I could ask again, another officer called him over. He stood, straightened his shoulders, and walked away, leaving me with more questions than answers. Everyone said their condolences, hugged me, and disappeared into their cars. Within minutes, the cemetery was quiet. Just me, a freshly dug grave, and the wind. I sat on the grass, staring at his name on the temporary marker, and said aloud, "If you're trying to tell me something, I'm listening." And that's when I noticed it. A Marine I didn't recognize, standing at a distance. He wasn't attending the funeral. He wasn't with the officers. He stood alone, watching me. When our eyes met, he didn't look away. He just nodded once, almost like a signal, then turned and walked off before I could ask who he was. The whole day felt wrong. Like pieces of a story that didn't fit. Like a script written too fast by people desperate to hide the real plot. And as I walked back to my car, one thing became painfully clear. My husband might have been buried today. But the truth wasn't.